Okay, so that brings us to session number 30 of our Shadowrun game. Still in season 1, so episode 30. And tonight online we have Jeremy.
Good evening all. I'm playing Desmond Deadshot, the urban elf, grew up on the streets in the slums of Seattle, and has worked himself up to be a renowned sharpshooter and obviously premier motorcycle rider, ready to join the Ancients as his dream, and has since discovered that maybe he wasn't quite such street scum after all. He may have family out there that he's unaware of.
And I'm sure that will come more to light tonight. Next up we have is Martin.
I'm a Rakash, Sri Lankan, sort of a bit like a badger, primalist dwarf, and I guess I'm here in Shadowrun Seattle to see what's going on.
And I'm sure to cause a bit of mayhem as you go. Okay, so also online we have M.
M's just a bit tied up at the moment.
So we'll go with Josh then.
Okay. Hi, I'm Josh. I play Flogger. Flogger, big burning troll. Flogger, what? Flogger, big burning troll. Flogger likes to hit things. Never gets hit himself. Likes to smoosh things like a accordion.
I like ice cream.
So is that saying Floggers like ice cream?
Yeah.
Things like ice cream.
There's too much at once is a bit of a headache. So we also have Go ahead.
Easy to give Flogger a headache.
So we also have Em and Ariadne who will join us when available. So last session we had Desrin working to get his colours.
Yep.
So now he can proudly wear the green and blue of the actual Ancients colours.
We have to ride with the big boys now.
Well, it's nice to know what colours you're allowed to wear, because if you wear them without being allowed, you sort of get shot. Which is understandable.
Mm-hmm.
As the official colours are dark green and blue.
Oh, you mean he doesn't have to wear his official knockoff Ancients cap anymore?
I'm sure they won't mind if you wear it. They will definitely keep you in their sights.
Does that mean has he been able to actually ride with the Ancients down the streets of Seattle occasionally in the last couple of weeks?
Not yet.
Oh,
He's been hoping he could, but he hasn't quite gotten there.
okay.
It's been 5 days since you last did it, which means I need to update the date of here. So the date's been updated. It's been 5 days since you managed to get the permission to wear their colours.
Mm-hmm.
And it's assuming once you do more stuff for them, you will get more responsibility. But at least you've passed the we shoot you on sight if you show up level.
Yes. Not necessarily quite one of the gang, but hey.
You're now one of the potential.
Excellent. We won't actually immediately shoot you if you imply some affiliation of some sort.
You have also gained yourself some GPS coordinates of where you should find your grandfather's house.
Okay, down south of Portland.
South of Portland.
Well, I think the information I had back from probably a couple of weeks ago now was the fact that this father had already been down there starting to disperse effects and things like that. I think so. Certainly, if things have quietened down enough for Desmond and he's actually it's not unsafe to show his face on the street immediately.
Well, you have managed to get the bounty on you cleared.
Yep.
But hey, a few days away would also mean less chance that someone will not have caught up that the bounty has been cancelled.
Absolutely. He'll actually see if we can contact Val and see if she's up for a bit of a excursion down south.
She recommends taking some backup because, hey, it gets a bit dicey when you go down that way.
Well, that's the other reason of calling Val is the sense that could fit more people in her car, in her, it's not actually a T-bird that she's got, is it, I think?
It's close. It's a VTOL anyway.
Yeah. They'll fit on the back of the motorcycle, so... Yes, the intent was that if there are others that want to come along, then we've got the space available in that sense. Assuming, as I said, Val is interested in a bit of a commission.
Well, she's always interested.
Oh.
And she's currently between runs, so she can actually take you down there for a change.
Nice. That way, as I say, there's space for a few extra passengers, and also space for Desmond's bike.
There is. Well, considering
You wouldn't want to go anywhere with that bike.
Considering you'd be strapping Flogger down the same way you strap the bike down. It's not as if most VTOLs have seats for trolls.
Like I say, there's space underneath the undercarriages at there, we'll just strap into the undercarriage.
Does Flogger have fear of flying?
He doesn't know. He's never been.
How about Rakesh? Does Rakesh have fear of flying? Just checking if we have a Josh and a Martin on there.
Yeah, you still got me, and should be around shortly.
So we're just asking, does Flogger have a fear of flying? And does Rakesh have a fear of flying?
As far as my knowledge, I don't think Flogger has a fear of flying.
Oh, has he ever flown before?
I'll take that as a no at this stage. And how about Rakesh with Martin?
You still there, Martin?
He may be having issues with his mic. Not sure. You there, Martin?
I'm not seeing anything popping up in the chat item either.
I'm not either, and it's not registering as if he's talking. Oh no, we've got some movement. Are you there, Martin?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Hey.
We've been wondering why we couldn't
Awesome.
hear you.
Cool. Yep.
So does Rakesh have a fear of flying?
No.
Which is always good.
Yeah, he flew from was it Pakistan to Sri Lanka, or he took a boat.
A boat could be cheaper. Especially if you work your way.
Might depend whether he was stowed away.
That too. Being a dwarf does help. Okay, so you're all able to climb aboard and get onto the VTOL. Assuming there's no objections to taking a side trip.
Good to have friends with nice, cool gear. And obviously, all the party knows if they've got Desmond.
I mean, I'm not in any objection to going on a shiny side quest.
So SoCal has helped out by giving everyone a colourful yet this bad taste Hawaiian shirt.
Objection! Sorry, I had to.
Well, Bolt doesn't want a Hawaiian shirt.
No, I just figured that emulating a bit of Phoenix Riot was appropriate.
Yep.
Does Bolt have a fear of flying?
Planes are hard to catch.
I'm assuming that's a no. So, with the objection noted, you find yourself in brightly coloured clothing boarding a my brain completely lost her name's VTOL.
Val,
That's correct. Thank you for reminding me, writing it down this time.
did Coco, when he offered the wonderful gift of the Hawaiian shirts, was he suggesting that it was a useful camouflage material for us?
He was saying you're heading towards warmer weather. You might want to dress for the occasion.
Okay. I was thinking, does he know we're going to cover a bit further afield than just south of Portland?
Well, it helps to know that in Seattle, it's getting close to being probably 25 to 30 degrees for most days.
Mm-hmm.
So having that sort of knowledge comes in handy to say that it's probably going to get hotter the further you go south.
That's right. I'm sure we can handle it.
I'm sure you can.
Especially with the new appropriate attire.
Okay. So you go.
Does Al have any concerns or considerations when showing the GPS coordinates as to where we're going?
She suggests you go heavily armed.
Right.
She does say that people go missing who go there.
So, are we heading towards Mount Rainier or somewhere?
It's on the coast. Who knows, she says. There's no settlements listed anywhere on any maps in that region. Or any roads in that area. The Seacoast Road just veers inland and goes around it by about 200-300 k's.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like the people go through that area very often.
Sorry, still not quite finished, but I'm taking a break, so I'll join in.
So did you want to introduce your character?
Give me a couple of minutes.
All good. Understand. So you're currently flying above the clouds.
Sounds possibly good. Are we in a plane or other
You are.
vehicle? Well,
Not shot out of a cannon.
just give me 2 minutes.
And for a smuggler, you're probably a little surprised by that because most times smugglers stick to the ground.
So who's responsible for us flying?
Val is currently taking you south because Desron wanted to go visit GPS coordinates he was given by some lawyers.
Off to Portland?
South of Portland.
Sounds good.
But yes, we're investigating what it might be that Desmond's been left by his unknown family.
And Val does tell you that she has to fly so high because you've got to go over the Elvish territorial lands. They don't like it
So
when
we're avoiding getting Gaia airspace, effectively. Is that the point?
Yeah, if you go too low, they tend to shoot you down.
Right.
And if you fly low enough to avoid the radar, then you're within range of their flying menaces.
Mm-hmm.
Would rather much not face a phoenix or a juvenile dragon tonight.
I was going to say dragons probably
Okay, so
unlikely, but still best avoided.
That is true. So you think it's going to take you about, probably about 4 to 8 hours flight to get there?
it's still a lot faster than trying to take a bike. So,
Really? You're giving up your precious bike?
No, it's packed
oh
in
no,
the ship.
that's why he arranged for the T-Bird, so therefore to carry passengers and his bike.
Mm. I was thinking more of the oh, sorry.
I was going to say yes, but he did think that it was big difficult to carry everyone else on his bike.
I was thinking more of the opportunity to ride your bike. I'm surprised you didn't just check everybody else on the plane and said, we'll meet you there.
Well, driving also requires you to pay all the tolls in between.
That's right. He had it would be a nice bike ride, but he understood the sorts of locations and border patrols he'd have to try and get past. So.
And most visas take 6 months to get.
Special kind of bureaucratic hell.
It is. Whereas he could probably get through the Elven borders, he can't guarantee most of the rest of the party can.
Well, presume elves would object to dwarves, trolls, and orcs. No, just trolls. Is it?
And wolf people.
Yes, yeah. Canine.
Dwarves okay?
Amongst elves, not really.
Yeah, so
They were very stuck up. Remember?
that was the first one I excluded, but that was kind of based on the stereotype Tolkien put out there that dwarves and elves don't get along. Don't know if that's true of Shadowrun.
I mean, it's the sort of thing that, yes, it's not as true in Shadowrun, but that's mainly because the elves might think of the fact that, well, at least they're not all controls.
The old adage is never deal for dragon and never trust an elf.
I have both those books.
Mm-hmm.
Are they Forgotten Realms?
That's Shadowrun.
Oh,
Actually,
no, yeah, they're
Shadowrun.
Shadowrun books, yeah. That's right. Because when I first met you, I had the most complete set of Shadowrun books you'd come across.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know it was a role-playing game.
Hey, the books were good in their own right. No
They
game
were.
necessary.
I did enjoy them.
Okay, so you put your feet back, you rest up, you hang on tight, and you basically have whatever's Desrin's favourite music mix going through the plane as you travel.
In which case, Shadow has her earplugs in, listening to her own favourite music.
So would you like to...
To be fair, Desmond's happy to accept the fact that, hey, it's Val's car, Val's vehicle, Val's driving. She can keep the music.
Belle's got headset on so she doesn't have to worry about listening to your music.
The other advantage, of course, of travelling at high altitude, it's probably a smoother flight compared to trying to dodge trees down on the ground level.
It is.
Did you say we're in a plane?
You are in a vertical takeoff and landing plane.
I'm just going to put plane. Because
The acronym is VTOL.
that's easier.
To answer your question, Martin, sorry, I
All good.
muted just after my objection before, because I was still doing stuff. I just need to have that moment. I don't think Bolt has an objection to flying. Maybe getting thrown by Flogger, because that's not been fun in the past. But flying, I don't think so. Unless something in my past experimentation has involved flying, but I highly doubt that.
Not at this stage. We'll
Well,
get to
then
find a new...
I am perfectly happy, probably trying to stick my face out one of the port windows. I'm not succeeding.
Perfectly happy trying to video that on my phone.
Yeah, you struggle, but you don't seem to be able to open the window until people point out that you wouldn't be able to breathe that well if you did.
Yeah, but I probably don't understand that, and I see we're up in the air and we're going really, really fast, and...
From this height, it looks slow.
Well, fair, but...
It looks like you're just crawling along.
Because you're probably comparing it to the ground, watching anything else.
Well, I just know there's lots of air out there, and we are in a moving vehicle of some description.
Yep.
And I am... I can't open the window.
And so, unless Desrin plays his own music, then Belle's music will be playing polka the entire time.
I'm definitely wearing my headphones.
Jason has got anything particularly big polka.
She found that it's the one way of stopping conversation is if she plays polka. People will generally put in earbuds and ignore things.
I'm tempted to be annoying and just attempt to talk to Val the whole time, raising my voice over the polka. Would I have to do like a performance check for that?
It's okay, she'll probably just keep saying, "What was that?" until you give up.
Oh, no, I'm fairly sure I'm more persistent. This could be a challenge.
Could be
Might end up making friends.
Could be 8 hours of, "What was that?"
That's okay.
Hey, Shadow Star, don't disturb the driver.
I thought you had your headphones in. It's
And
okay.
I still see the results of the big car. Hey, yeah.
It's okay, I was just
Okay.
kidding. I wouldn't actually be that annoying.
So, describe Bolt as you're in the plane flying along with a Hawaiian shirt that's loud and very colourful. As if we have an M. Apparently we lost an M
Might be
again.
muted.
We have.
Might be parenting.
Sorry, I thought I'd unmuted. Apparently I muted myself. Because I'm that smart. I probably have a few holes in my top already from snagging it on probably the industrial interior of the plane. I'm presuming it's one of those kind of like bomber transport things.
Well,
Or is it?
it does have seating, and you do have Flogger strapped down in the back with the bike.
Well, somehow Bolt has already managed to get holes in his in his new clothing. And people probably pondering how that's happened in the space of a couple of hours, but
Not if we know you.
and then realise you're talking about Bolt.
If Bolt leaves the room and there's no holes in Bolt's clothes, people wonder what happened.
Bolt is clean? What is this? What is this blasphemy? Yeah, no, I'm still trying to stick my face out windows with little success, and getting slightly more dejected each time, and that probably goes on for 8 hours.
Okay, and Shadowstar. Describing yourself.
I am. Sorry. I'm still getting sharp pains from making the bed. So I'm Shadowstar, often known just as Shadow. I consider myself awakened mostly through caffeine. But I think that means something else when I put that down on my stat sheet.
It means you can use magic.
Yep. Well, caffeine is a kind of magic. Standard tallness of elf, but with purple black hair, purple eyes, really cool but kind of stereotypical long jacket, which I use to try and keep myself in the shadows. Because I'm a magic user, I think stealth is probably my best friend rather than trying to take on people out in the open. I think that kind of sums me up.
Yep. It's not a bad sum up.
I'm a less than successful Robin Hood. Mostly the robbing from rich ends up in my bank account because I'm poor.
I was about to say, that's not like the less than successful, just means, yeah, I've got the rob from the rich down pat, give it to the poor, I'm still working on.
I have a feeling that I'll start branching out into that stuff now that I have significant amounts of money in my bank account. Up until the last 3 or 4 jobs that we succeeded, I kind of had like 1,000 credits and that was it. But now I'm kind of in a position where I think I'm likely to start up benefiting charities and things like that, and trying to take on a few jobs where it's more about helping out the little guy against the big dogs than it is about the money. But for now, let's discover where Desrin comes from.
Okay. So, about 8 hours into your trip, the music just abruptly cuts out, the lights start flickering, and all the electronics seem to go haywire.
That puts me into high alert. Can I tell what's going on? Presumably, can I sense whether or not this is a magic thing?
Give me a perception roll, will do.
Are you okay to do dice?
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling my rolls won't be that great today.
What's your character's
There's
perception?
There's a little beside his pad that he's been trying to actually get whatever information he put out of the wheel and things like that. And get ready to provide co-piloting assistance.
Is that my willpower,
I believe.
vigilance.
Oh, sorry. I'll have to have a look at one of the
I've got
sheet
it.
things.
Oh, okay.
You got the sheet thing there?
I don't have a sheet, but I've kind of got things written down. I don't know how
Sorry,
accurate
it's
it
just,
is.
we'll look at the character sheet. It's not in that one. It's in that one.
Sorry. Thank you.
Okay, so perception is cunning.
Oh, cunning.
So
2.
You got 2 in cunning. Do you have any ranks in perception?
I don't believe so. Negotiation, charm, deception. No, not yet. I'd like to get some, but not yet.
Actually, check to see if you do.
Yeah, I don't know if this is updated from when we did a little bit more stuff last session.
Now, did I do a character sheet for you? I don't think I did.
We really got to do that. It's like only been a year.
Well, I started doing one for Jeremy and M.
Yep.
That's as far as I got.
Yep. As far as I know, I don't have anything particular in perception.
Okay.
Does it matter that my arcana is 3?
No.
Okay.
So your character takes 2 strain as you're struggling to figure out what's going on.
Yep.
Is anyone else doing anything?
So Desmond's putting aside the pad. Well, in fact, he'll switch off the image in his cyber eyes from the computer that he's working on with working through if he could find anything more about his family, and send a message to Val that he's ready to assist with any co-piloting if necessary or capability. So.
I have a list of things I want to improve that we never got to.
Yeah. As you try to get into your comlink, you find your comlink's currently on the fritz.
Can I switch to astral perception?
You can.
I need to learn stuff like that.
I need to. Yeah. So I want to do that. To see how much magical mojo I got.
Does Val's T-Bird have any manual controls, or is it all reader?
It does have manual controls.
Okay.
She's currently
Does it have
flying.
is it set up with a co-pilot console, or just the pilots?
It does have a co-pilot console because, hey, on long trips you do like to have other people take over without having to
Yep.
get out of your seat and hot seat.
Yep. In which case then Desmond will be already sitting in the co-pilot seat, and we'll be confirming that, yep, I can understand all these controls, even if I've not actually been flying before.
Mun, can Bolt see anything out of the windows while he's pressing his face off of them?
So what is Bolt's perception?
I am unsure currently because I am not at my computer.
Okay. Let's see if I've actually got it on
Do
your
you
sheet.
know you're cunning? Because I happen to know that's the stat you need.
I think I have a cunning of
3
3.
with a perception of 1. Okay.
I'm just currently trying to get nappies made for Mia. So I'm not currently at my computer.
Hey, it's a legitimate way of keeping your hands busy.
Apparently,
It is indeed.
apparently, while you're looking at the window, you're passing through cloud layers.
Oh, boo.
I was going to say maybe I should start trying to roll the dice because, yeah. It seems to be a case of when Martin rolls the dice for us, it's bad.
Not the bot could recognise, but they may not be natural cloud cover.
I don't think bots are smart. Particularly with magic things.
Okay, so Rakesh goes astral. Does Rakesh leave his body?
No, I just want to watch astrally. So I just want to switch from normal vision to astral vision.
Okay, you can see waves of energy that you're passing through.
Alright, I'll report back.
Looks like curtains, and as you hit them, it feels like you're being smacked in the face each time.
That sounds pleasant.
And as if someone's been hitting you with a sledgehammer every time.
And does that translate to the VTOL?
No, the VTOL doesn't actually get affected by magic barriers, whereas you seem to be passing through magic barriers.
Alright, I'll switch off astral perception.
So how's Vel holding up at the present time?
She's basically fighting the controls. You notice that a lot of her VTOL has hydraulics and manual systems that don't require electronics.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can understand in a world where sensors can pick up the electronics far more than it can the old analog versions.
Yep.
I will give her a piloting roll to see how well she is controlling things.
So is this where I should roll?
Well, you can roll if you want to.
You sure? Turns out bad, I'm really sorry.
Is there anything Jason to be assisting with the piloting roll?
I don't know if you can add anything to that. Is that back under the camera? I don't know how to move it, but they're not all on there.
It's okay. It is a success. She's keeping control of it. And I will give Desrin a piloting roll to see if he can understand the controls.
That would be 5 green dice.
5 green dice.
Oh, you got it.
Oh, sorry.
Are you?
Plus the 2 purple.
You got your little chewy bit.
You okay if we were to...
You want to chew? You want to chew? You got nom on it.
So, Em, you're not on mute at the moment.
Oh, sorry.
That's a triumph, isn't it?
Yeah, that is an advantage.
Oh, cool.
So that's the roll Ariadna got for Jeremy.
Uh-huh.
Is that good?
Let me just switch things over so people can actually see the dice rolls a bit better. Well, it's definitely good because it's a success.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So are these ones successes?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and
You got
they're
4 of those.
advantages,
Mm-hmm.
and that's nothing, but what's that?
That's a failure and a threat.
Oh, okay.
So purple dice only give bad things. Green dice only give good things.
Okay.
And the only part, the yellow dice are the only ones that give triumphs.
Yep. And the red dice
are the only ones that
give despair, yeah. So you know things are escalating when the red dice come out.
I've already had an accident this week. I don't need red dice tonight.
Well, the party did run into lots of things on Monday.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
Okay, so you find yourself dropping below the cloud layer. Anyone? So Jeremy, what is Desrin's perception?
He's got 1 yellow, 1 green.
1 yellow, 1 green,
And noting his cyber eyes mean that he's
Sure, we can't just
removes the black from caused by darkness or smoke. Without
Yeah,
lying.
that's a lot better. Thanks. That doesn't look good.
Well,
That's a threat.
That's a threat, which can be taken as various things, but I'm keeping it simple.
Mm-hmm. They're successes,
They're successes, yes.
and
Sorry.
that's nothing.
That is nothing, yes. Blank is nothing.
I'm trying to learn.
I'm just trying to get things where I can keep doing stuff. So yes, you... looking out the window, you can see what appears to be a settlement that you're approaching on the coast, where nothing's supposed to be on the coast.
And we should be approaching the coordinates we were originally planning for.
Hard to tell because none of your GPS systems are currently working.
Based on the last position we had.
It seems to roughly be the right area. You're not sure how close?
Okay. Is Val actually communicating at all at the moment? Like, if all electronics still down?
Well, she's talking into the headset, but considering she's talking into the headset, you're not hearing anything through the headset?
Yep. So, yeah. I will give her a tap on the shoulder and try and, if she looks at me, so I say, nothing coming through. And obviously deliberately talking as well on the fact that it means that she can hear that nothing's coming through on her or whatever.
She gives you a thumbs up. I'm sure she thinks it's an encouraging gesture.
Well, obviously the answer to the question that I didn't actually ask was, hey, is this our target? Yeah, good to hear.
Okay, so you see...
how big's this settlement?
Seems to be a decent-sized city, bigger than you would expect for something that's in the middle of nowhere. You don't see any roads coming in or out.
If we if we take a headset off the ear type stuff, is the noise in the vehicle too loud to actually try and talk to each other directly?
It is extremely loud.
Yeah, okay.
Especially when it's in the engines braking to try to bring you in for landing.
Yeah, okay.
Engine braking noise is one of the louder parts of the VTOL.
Absolutely.
Especially when she's not running in stealth mode. Seems most of her electronic suites deal with stealth mode.
Mm-hmm. I can't just like it all. Jason was just going to ask the question of the idea, hey, you say I went through some basic barriers, but they cause invisibility type effect, but I guess we'll find out when we get down.
Okay. Takes about half an hour for her to bring it in for landing, and it's the bumpiest part of the whole trip. Luckily you're all belted in because you'd be bouncing off the ceiling a few times as you go down.
I expect Bolt is having a great time.
It's like a merry-go-round fair. Everything moving all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So is the deal with Flogger kind of the same as what it is for the A-Team? You give him a glass of milk and just make sure he doesn't get up during the paint tip, so he doesn't rip off all the doors?
Possibly. Yes, you find yourself down on the ground with a sudden stop, and the VTOL actually doing a normal plane landing instead of using the coming to a stop in the air. It comes to a stop on the ground using wheel braking.
Yep. Okay. And when we say on the ground, are we talking? Is she landing at like an airfield type effect, or just an open paddock, or
She's
down the main street of the settlement?
She's landed at what appears to be a airstrip, but hard to tell because it's also disused.
And are we seeing any petrol or anything like that as we're coming in?
There's vehicles on the road. There is a emergency vehicle coming towards the airfield where you've landed.
Okay. Is Belle giving any indication of, hey, bail out quickly, I'll take it off again, or anything like that?
She asks if you wanted to stick around, or you wanted to come back in a set time. She's not sure if any communications come in or out of this place.
Maybe have her stick around.
If she's happy to stick around and able to stick around, then I'm sure that, hey, you'd be interested in making friends in a apparently secret and secure location.
She's hesitant, but I'm sure you're good for making sure her ship, her plane gets out with her.
Well, I wouldn't plan.
Yeah, would hate for you to have to, buy a new one if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
I'd
I'm
hate
sure
to
it'll all
do
be fine.
that too, but let's cross our fingers and.
Well, okay, Jacob will come back and go, hang on. Technically, he paid for the trip, except for her vehicle. That's part of what she charges for the smuggling money, isn't it?
He's part of it, but she does add extra expenses if she has to stay around. Her main charge is ferrying, not staying.
Yep. So, the if she's happy and willing to stick around, then we'd be more than happy to effectively pay her cover charge. But can certainly understand, given the unknown nature of this facility, that if she wants to disappear, we will aim to arrange a time or a date, look to pick up again, or more likely a place, potentially if we can work out how far out from the settlement the barriers started hitting. Work out whether it's possible to meet on the other side of those barriers. But.
Well, you think it started happening about maybe 100 to 200 miles from the settlement?
Oh, okay, so it actually went quite some distance.
Where are we? We're just at this airfield.
Currently at an airfield.
Okay. Are you using some kind of GPS type thing to figure out where your coordinates are in relation to where we are now, Desrin?
Apparently we're on the coordinates as to where we were.
Okay.
Exactly how much accuracy we can further go yet. Don't know, but the...
well, you think you're anywhere within 50 k's of the coordinates.
Yeah. So basically we've come to the only apparent settlement in the vicinity of the coordinates.
Well, she suggests you ditch the authorities first, and she will try to come back. Either she'll come through tomorrow if you can get her a signal somehow, or she'll come back in a week if when she comes through next you can't let her know it's safe to come down.
Okay, I'm sure we'll be able to arrange comms in the near future.
Yeah. Well, as far as she's concerned, the authorities will most likely impound her vehicle, in which case then you're stuck here.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Fair enough, yeah.
So in which case then, there'll be a rapid conversation of, yep, we'll see you in 24 hours or a week, and we'll be aiming to bail out. I'm guessing that, assuming that Declan's the only one aboard a vehicle.
I presume none of our other vehicles would have fit on there.
No.
I'm presuming my car wouldn't have fit. Yep.
And the we'll aim to get out there and try and look for some cover. So you said there was a police or fire, like a vehicle arriving for the landing of the aircraft?
Well, it didn't look like Lone Star, that's for sure.
No. But how much time does it look like we've got till they're going to be on the scene?
You might have about 5-10 minutes once she starts taking off.
You might want to put maybe Rakesh on the back of the bike. Bolt can take care of himself, sorry.
Sounds alright.
And then I would also need to take care of myself, but I'm fairly sure, being an elf, I can probably either run at a fair pace and stealth. But the question is where are we heading?
Well, the first question is there any cover nearby where we might be able to actually at least get some immediate visual disappearance from the arrival of the authorities?
You see what appears to be an industrial complex right next to the airport that you could hide in.
Okay. Well, we will certainly aim for a close building / alleyway type stuff to actually at least get off the tarmac and find a spot where we can start to work out what we're doing and where we're going. So
You'll find that you're having to push your bike as it you haven't managed to get it started up yet.
Oh no! Poor Desrin.
But hey, you got many hands to help you push it.
Hey, I'm sure I can get it going quickly if I've got the time, because hey, it's not like it's got all the mod con electronics in it. We've deliberately missed a lot of that stuff. So.
You start.
Not deliberately, but
you find the starter to your bike doesn't seem to be kicking over.
Okay. Well, yeah. Certainly the intent will be to give it a push towards the cover, and then he will see if he can give it a jump start effectively.
Push start?
Oh, he's got one of those snazzy electric racing bikes.
Oh. Maybe not a push start. Anyway, do we make cover?
So, with you making cover, who's going to do the stealth check for you? You can assist each other in doing this. I know Bolt has ranks in stealth.
I have 2 in stealth.
Yeah. David's got 5 dice, 1 yellow in stealth.
I have no idea what 2 in stealth equals in terms of dice.
So if you've got 2 ranks in it, that means you'd end up using you and Desrin together. That would be your dice pool.
Okay.
And using 2 purple.
Okay. What about Bolt's? Is her stealth any better than mine?
Well, that's using Desrin's
Which
stealth.
one does stealth link to?
Agility.
I've got 3 agility.
So Desrin has 5, which gives you the 5 good dice.
Yep.
You have 2 ranks in it, which gives you 2 yellow dice.
Oh, okay. So that upgrades it from green to yellow. Okay, cool. That's good,
That
right?
was good.
It is very good.
With the blanks on the black.
So no negative consequences.
Okay.
It looks like 3 successes, 4 advantages.
4 successes and 4 advantages.
Oh, 4 successes, yeah, because that's both.
That is correct.
So we hide well.
So by the time the vehicle gets onto the field, you've hidden, and you can see it's got on the side of it what appears to be some sort of military police symbol.
Okay.
Do we recognise it? Doesn't stand out from anything I saw in the file that I looked at that Callahan had.
It's similar to the Lone Star badge, but not quite the same.
So security of some type. Okay.
Can we see who's driving?
Someone with a pointy helmet, pointy hat of some sort that you've not quite seen. You may have seen old videos of police people.
It was also about so obviously it might have tinted windows and not be able to see inside the door, but it was the curiosities to what race the drivers might be for the event.
Driver appears to be basically human, no meta race that you can see through the window, and the car he's driving is a noisy gas guzzler.
Not surprising out here. Can we pick up any indication of a grid or electrical network?
He seems to have some sort of electronics in there, and he does have flashing lights.
No, I mean like in the actual
Generally.
like in the area where we are. But obviously, electronics got at least interrupted or fried if we came through the barrier. But it's whether or not that's actually stopping all electronics and things like that once we're inside the barrier.
So I guess it's the equivalent of, is there a local Wi-Fi?
Well, you think some electronics seems to work because he has gotten out of the car, pulled out some sort of comm link, and he's talking into it.
Are my smart specs working?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, cool. Well, that's an indicator of how much electronic stuff's working, I'm guessing. Yep. I knew I had something on me that had a bit of tech with it.
But he is looking in the direction where the plane went.
Would my handheld scanner fit in my pack? Can I pull it out and see if it does anything? I don't know what a handheld scanner is, to be honest.
No,
Or what it looks for.
handheld scanners are generally specified for a type of thing they scan for, such as life signs, communications, energy signatures, metals. It's
see if there's any sign of peoples and.
So, if that case, then it would be a life detector only.
Oh, okay. So you have to determine what it is, and then it stays that. Okay, I might need to talk that through with you.
And a lot of people buy it for the medical sensor to give them advantage on checking people for medical issues.
Okay, yeah, that might be why we got it. I've just got it written down as something that's sitting in my pack.
And what was that, Jeremy?
I haven't actually said it specifically, but I just do we feel like when we're going to our hidden location that we actually got off the tarmac before it was seen that the vehicle had dropped people off?
Well, you didn't have sight of it until after you'd gotten off the tarmac, so you don't think they saw you.
Yep.
And the plane was already in the air before they got in sight of the tarmac.
Yep. And is it just one person out of the car, or is there multiple people?
Just one person there.
Looking around the location where we've got our hidden spot at the moment, does it look like this building or whatever we're hiding in is particularly well used?
It does look like it's something that gets used fairly often. It has a smell of gasoline that you've not been around very often, but considering you've been in the Barrens use it every now and then for some of their vehicles because off-grid. And you think it's a refinery.
Okay. Derek's going to have a look around for an area where he can actually stash his bike, at least temporarily.
There are lots of places you can stash it, including some old crates you can hide it inside of.
Okay, I was happy to be going for effectively behind a pile of old crates, but okay, if they're big enough ones that it'll fit the bike, then it certainly seems like a good place to store it away.
And unlike the crates you're used to,
we won't try and make any specific movements until we find out that this the police vehicle, what its actions are, and where we're going through. Because if it starts to move off, if it looks like it starts to move off, then obviously that'll be there waiting till it's gone and we can actually do it. If it looks more like these are calling in for reinforcements, then they're going to take more risk with trying to get the bike stashed before we all move.
Okay, one thing you do notice is the crates are made out of wood instead of plastic or the refined plasteel that you're used to.
Weird backward place this is. Or damn weird, one of the two.
And as far as you can tell, the wood here has just been discarded. Which makes you think extremely rich place if they can afford to discard wood.
Yep. But did we come over large forested areas or things like that to get to the city? Like what was around the city?
You did cross over the Tirtangir, which has a lot of forest, and it's somewhere between Tirtangir and California.
Yeah. But yeah, in that last 100 miles after we came through the barrier, what was the terrain like?
A lot of mountains.
Was it forested?
It seems to be a valley on the coast surrounded by mountains.
Right.
Which should explain why it doesn't get a lot of visitors.
Alright, that's good. And more particularly also if it's the case effectively it's got an invisibility cloak over it that's stopping the satellite imagery and things. Or it's got the types of technological support that means that the satellite imagery provides something different to what's actually there.
And while
Yeah, so basically, if we can dash the bike but lay somewhat low if the cop's going to move on, and otherwise we'll have to aim to move off a bit more readily before backup arrives.
Okay.
To try and get a better location.
So while you're watching, you see the person get back into the vehicle, and then you feel a bit of a buzz on your eye as you feel your eye start to reboot.
Okay. So effectively the electronics had even affected the cyber eyes, had they?
They had affected the cyber eyes, which they'd actually knocked them out.
Oh, well. That probably would have been making it difficult for Desmond then on the idea that he would be blind.
I thought you had one that was cyber and one that wasn't.
No, they're both cyber eyes, it's just one looks natural and one's got the tiny bit below. So.
Okay, well, in that case, you probably did need help getting your bike stashed.
Okay.
Which would also explain why people with cyberware don't come here very often.
Mm-hmm.
I think Desron's the only one who's got a lot of cyber on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have much of that. I only got the cyber eyes. I want to have a lot more, but I haven't got it yet.
Need to do more jobs.
Okay,
Well,
and
no, actually, the moment it's lack of time to actually get the surgery done.
he needs time off for bad behaviour.
Well, if we can get moving on this job, we might be able to get some time off later.
Okay, so
Where are we going?
all your electronics start to come back online.
Oh, goody. It's the first thing will be actually to try and get an assessment of local population and thereby ask more information about, hey, trying to get to this particular location where yes, we're looking for Angel Grove.
So you're looking, trying to connect to the matrix, and you're not finding any matrix nodes within range.
looks like we've got some walking in front of us.
You're getting the equivalent of no signal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
So you can clearly pick up the rest of the party.
So yes, obviously our own electronics providing the appropriate nodes, but there's no.
Meaning the signal's not being blocked, you just can't pick up any matrix connections in the area.
Seemingly there's no signal to pick up aside from what we brought in. Or at least within range.
May want to put away any obvious technological gear and start walking towards civilization, so to speak.
Yep. Basically, so we'll try and effectively get to the end of this industrial complex initially, like the refinery, the oil refinery, and well, I guess take a look at what road options there are away from this airfield.
Okay, so at the edge of the industrial complex, I'll give you guys another roll to see how well you can pick up things.
Is that a GM roll or a NUS roll?
That's a roll for at least combining a few characters stuff.
One failure, one success, two advantages, and a threat.
So, it looks like you're walking through a war zone at the edge of the airport and industrial complex. You're not exactly sure what caused it, but it
Have you seen any other evidence of people?
not here. Except for the vehicle that came out and checked.
Yeah.
Probably should have hijacked the vehicle, at least we would have had a way into town.
And you can sort of see it driving along a road that looks to be... wouldn't have been out of place in the Barrens.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Not well maintained.
Okay.
Lots of potholes. And some sort of debris across the road.
Can we see any buildings off in the distance?
You can see what looks to be a city with some skyscrapers.
Does it look like it's going to be a long walk?
Probably be maybe an hour or two walk from here.
Well, better get walking. Either that or I'm going to try and find some skates and stick a leash on Bolt and tell him to run.
Desrin does think his bike may start now.
He has to go back and get it.
Well, that's what I was going to say, the fact that I have taken a bit of a look around the immediate vicinity. We can certainly do a bit of work and see if we get the bike up and running.
That said, how many people can you fit on your bike?
It's like a clown bike, right? You can fit as many people as you can stack. It's certainly also not necessarily one that Declan's thinking that we actually want to go riding around this place yet. Because that'll just draw more attention, considering the quality of the vehicles and things like that we've seen so far. But that doesn't mean he doesn't want to be able to have the bike available as an option.
Well, either way, we either need to start heading in towards town or get the bike going. So we can see if we can figure out where this ancient road is.
Do a bit of perimeter search and make certain that we're somewhat secure in here. And then I'll get the bike going, so we've got that option. And we can see if we've got any further information about closer sites to look at. If we climb to the top of one of the buildings or something like that, get to a high point and see what sort of other things are around, we can work out our next best options.
Okay, so while you're looking at the bike, you hear what appears to be a broadcast going in the industrial area, saying all clear, All clear. Everyone back to work.
Mhm.
And all around you hear the sounds of roller doors going up.
Is this was this coming out of the loudspeakers type stuff, so that the rest of the party also heard this announcement?
It was going over loudspeakers in the industrial complex. Everyone heard that.
Yep.
Do a rush of people accompany these doors being opened?
You hear the sounds of people and clanking, and as if people are getting back to work. You don't think there'll be a lot of people in an oil refinery?
So certainly, Jason, as soon as the loudspeakers go off, he'll be ensuring that the basically closing up the crate again type stuff for the vehicle, for the bike, and we're heading inside with a hidden spot so we can actually look out and see what's happening. Where the others might be at that moment in time, but
So is everyone
any
else?
idea of that? Hang on, how many people are we talking about in the area?
Is everyone hiding like Desrin?
Yeah, I would probably be hiding. I'm presuming Bolt and Rakesh would probably be hiding. I'd probably keep Bolt close by if Bolt will let me.
What was that, Em?
I said yes, I would be. If everyone else is stealthing, then yes.
Does Flogger stealth? That's always a question.
Nah, probably not.
I was going to say, the question is, where is Flogger right now at that moment in time?
Frogger rips off 2 branches from a tree and hides behind them, holding them across his face.
I'm probably in a similar situation in that I've got agility 1 and stealth 1.
It does help that you have people who can help you hide.
I'll assist. I'll assist Rakesh if you'll assist Flogger, and Bolt I think is capable of hiding by himself.
You can hide as a team.
Let's hide as a team.
What?
But like, the only question I've got is I'm not certain whether Declan's technically with the team at that point in time, because depending upon when the loudspeaker went off, from Declan's perspective, he said, okay, yeah, I'll get the bike going, you guys do a bit of a reconnoitre of the area, see what we're looking at.
Well, that was the time they heard the announcement, so I'm assuming you were all still together.
You still haven't got away? Happy with that?
Okay. So I'm happy to say that with the amount of skill you have at your fingertips, you're able to hide Flogger even though he's ripped 2 branches off trees and he's hiding behind them.
It helps with the whole mystique.
It does. Flogger thinks he's fantastic at hiding.
Yeah, well, we all know
I don't
Flogger thinks a lot of
if
things.
I'm too quiet or too loud. I've just gotten a new headset and I haven't fiddled with any of the things.
It's a bit
yet.
quiet, but we can hear you.
Bit quiet? Okay, I will try and turn this into good.
And hopefully we're not cutting out at this end anymore. I managed to find a sensitivity thing that said it was doing it auto and kept cutting everyone out when it got too loud.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. But no, it is, you're coming through loud and clear.
Okay,
I
so
haven't had any breaks in transmission so far, except for when we came through the areas.
the field. So yes, you see 2 guys with yellow helmets, very impractical yellow helmets. They only cover the top of their heads, not the sides. You're not really sure why they'd bother wearing something like that. No face protection whatsoever either.
Seems like everything here seems to be very old school, so...
And they seem to be carrying around what you can only take to be data pads with styluses.
I'm guessing these are actually paper pads with pens.
Quite possibly. But hey, no one sells that stuff anymore.
Okay. That might be what it looks like, but obviously that can't be what it really is.
No.
And yes, they seem to be looking around, checking everything as they're going.
Are they speaking a language we can understand?
Yeah, they are speaking English, though they keep talking about expecting to see some sort of major damage here. Something may have rampaged through here recently.
Okay. Does it give us a sense that that's why they had shut up their doors?
Well, you're guessing they got some sort of alert that something was happening and everyone went to shelters.
Yes. So potentially, like the immediate first thought would be, oh yes, well they got the warning that they were under attack because the T-bird was coming through.
Yeah.
But the way they're talking, it's almost as if they expect attack from something different.
Well, they don't understand. They don't understand technology of our level.
There's rumours that there were giant creatures of unusual size rampaging in this region.
Mm.
A lot of the Japanese called them kaijus.
Hmm.
But of course they don't really exist.
And yet they still have these protocols.
Well, it's one of those conspiracy theories that these big monsters appear only in this region.
Okay. I won't pick up on the logic flaw that why are they hiding then if they don't actually exist, but...
Well, until you came here, you didn't even know that this place existed.
Yeah. Presume that.
Which was another conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So yes, they go right past where you're hiding, not even noticing you're there.
Mm-hmm. And are they dressed in, like, okay, you mentioned they had some ridiculously useful yellow helmet sitting on top of their head.
Yep.
Are we talking overalls type effect?
Yep. Very, very old-fashioned overalls, like you see in those old still movies that only have 2 dimensions.
Mm-hmm. Let them go past and
they're not even carrying guns.
Not even carrying guns?
Yeah, they're not even carrying guns. What sort of people are these? They're very backwards.
Or nuts.
Well, particularly if they're expecting someone to attack.
Oh no, I'm not upset by this.
Can we see the building or whatever it is that they came out of?
You can. You can hear sounds of industry in there as well as sparks coming out.
Are there any vehicles around? Like, that were hidden but are now seeable?
Okay, so looking out, you see what appears to be a person standing on a box that's moving by little wheels.
Okay. No sort of trucks or vans or anything like that in any of the areas?
Not that you can see here.
Okay.
But it's a little box that seems to raise up on scissor hinges.
Yep.
As he's looking out at various little boxes attached by wires throughout the area.
Probably not going to get us into town. Let's think of something a bit more, I don't know, troll-sized.
Well, a troll would fit, barely.
And faster.
Well, so far we've only seen human people, like of the 3 people we've actually seen so far.
They've all been
human.
And all male, so maybe it's a town of human men.
I think that's more an indication of the kind of work category we're looking at. Is there any windows or access points that we can look into this place where they come from, which still has some signs or sounds of industrial activity?
Yep, there is.
They're going to aim to sneak up to a window and have a look inside.
Okay, not that hard to sneak up there. As you look in, you see what appears to be a smelter is attached to the refinery. which seems to strike you as rather dangerous to have hot metal next to flammable objects.
I'm sure it's convenient. How many people can you work in there?
Inside you see about a dozen people. For the first time you see non-humans in there. There's a lot of orcs and trolls working in that.
Mm-hmm.
Trolls don't quite need as much in the way of protection against the heat.
Yep. Looking around to see if I can see evidence of like a locker room or anything like that for like they're basically aiming to try and pick up some extra coveralls to provide some guys.
Well, you can see that there is an employee section on the other side of the building, and windows through there show you a car park.
A car park?
Which is on the other side of the complex from the airport.
Yep. Assuming the others haven't actually tried to sneak along with me at the present time, I'll go back and let them know, hey, we appear to have potential transport on the other side, but we're going to go and have another look.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
Should
I'll be aiming.
I was going to say, considering Flogger's inability to stealth well, should we leave most of the group here while one or two of us get transport? And then...
Well, certainly, Declan's suggesting, hey, stay put and we'll do a bit of a reconnoitre now that we've got more people around, so it's not just us, but not the deserted area. Then, yeah, those who are good at reconnoitring can do a bit of a look-see and, let's go, look for what vehicles might be available. Potentially, as I say, if we can find some overalls to fit people, then it means, and some yellow hats, then it should be easier to blend in a bit more.
Well, you do see that inside the building, not many of them are wearing yellow hats. A few wear white hats, but they seem to be telling everyone else what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the others just have what appear to be a orange sort of dirty hat.
Yeah. Okay. Certainly, I can be happy to get. Preferably go with a one of the yellow helmets or helmets people, because obviously they're the outdoor wear. They can't be outdoors. But yeah, basically he'll take what we can get, and then.
Well, you know of two you can get quite easily.
Sorry?
He knows of two we can get quite easily.
Yeah, we try to avoid the ones that collect you off other people at the present time.
Alright, well...
So that's it comes back to, potentially getting access to that employees area, which obviously leads into or out to the employees car park. And...
Well, you think you could go over the top without being seen, but if you go around either side, you'll most likely cross over open space.
Over the top it is.
Yeah, Declan's happy to nimbly jump up and you can take advantage of that pile of vault boxes stacked beside the building and pull himself up over the lip of the ceiling.
Are all of us going to go as a team though and sneak across the roof and then down into the car park?
As long as it's a team stealth.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, that's why I'm suggesting it, because I think it'd get very convoluted and drawn out if you send one person out to do something and then, one person to get uniforms, one person to get the car. We might as well all just stealth as a team over to the car park and either steal uniforms and catch maybe a work shuttle into the city, or steal a car or a van and use that to get into the city.
From a game perspective, I'm perfectly happy to have everyone involved in all of us. But certainly Declan's thought would be, hey, much better off if we send the one or two people to see if there's actually capacity to go and get things, rather than trying to move everyone all at once. But I'm happy if we do it as from the game perspective of, let's just get moving.
Well, look, I don't object. Certainly the other way is more cautious, and I don't mind going the more cautious way. But I'm considering these guys don't have guns, and things like that. I don't think the risk is huge if we did try it as a team here. I'd be more worried if there was a lot more security and guns around, but I have a feeling that if they were to see us, at best, they would probably be just really surprised and assume we're workers out of uniform. And then, we could play dumb. The only problem would be Flogger collecting doors. That would probably prompt a call to security. What do the rest of the group want to do? Would they like to go the cautious way, or...?
I'm happy with that.
Walker's all down for collecting doors.
Yeah. Hopefully...
No, not collecting doors.
Yeah, no. This is the no door collection.
Doors?
No.
Yeah.
Doors.
Does Flogger respond if Shadow pulls out a little laser pointer dot thing and starts shining it on the floor and walls to see if...
I know, but Bolt does.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know Bolt will.
Yeah, Bolt probably responded to the laser pointer. I'll just go find a door.
I'm not a cat, guys. I have spare them.
Grinding.
I think...
No door collection on this trip, Flogger.
I think, Bolt, it's less about you being like a cat and more about the fact that you like to run and you like to chase things. And a laser dot point would present an opportunity for both those.
Okay, fair.
But okay, the only concern I've got with getting everyone over the ceiling and then back down over the roof and then back down the other side from the car park is, if we get there and find that, actually, no, there's nothing here that's appropriate to try and transport with.
Well, my thought was the employee uniforms are over that side as well, so even if there's no cars, there might be uniforms. But look, as I said, I don't mind the cautious way, and a few other people have said cautious is fine, so let's try that first.
Okay, I'm happy. We'll all get up on the roof.
Yep.
And whether or not we all come down at the same time, we'll see where we're going to from there. So,
yeah, it might be safer in terms of stealthing anyway to have Flogger and Rakesh on the roof, considering their stealth capacity is
there'll be
low.
less doors to attract attention.
And I was going to say there'll be no doors on the roof, so...
the roof
Unless, of course, there's a roof access door.
that might be a hatch, hopefully.
Is there hatch a door as far as Flogger is concerned?
Please say no.
You got
Does
to say
it?
yes to
So I
mine.
was about to say, does it open and you can go through it into a building? Then yes.
Yeah, but does he recognise that it would open?
But it might not have a handle, and it might not be rectangular, so it might not fit
It's
into
just
his
a
deck.
door, it's just a door that's laying down.
Surely it needs to have a handle, though.
Isn't that what concrete is as well? Just a door you need to open?
Yeah, there you go. Alrighty, so I gather Desrin's gonna take the run across the
Right.
roof.
Yep, we'll get everyone up to the roof, and depending on how much issue that problem that is, I should be hopefully not a major one.
Not too hard,
Yeah,
especially
fine,
considering you can do some dwarf and puppy tossing. You do have a big troll after all, who can probably throw them quite a distance.
I think that is one of Flogger's favourite games. Toss the puppy and the dwarf.
Also the closest party member.
Shadow's good not to be tossed.
So I think so far,
Probably bold.
yeah, Flogger's demonstrated an enjoyment of dwarf tossing and bolt bowling.
Yes.
Nice alliteration.
Because yes, there's certainly been a situation of bolt being rolled into a ball and bowled down through the enemy.
Okay. So getting up,
Yeah,
getting up onto the roof and moving across, you do see the ocean nearby, and that there are pipes that go out into the ocean, and some sort of pier down there with some boats, as well as what appears to be footprints, quite visible for their size, near the pipes.
You mean the footprints are visible because of their size?
Yes.
Are we talking
You
size?
you believe you were standing, the entire group was standing inside one footprint earlier when you were looking at the damage.
Right.
Just that from the height you were looking at, it didn't look like a footprint, it just looked like damage.
Yep. But now we can look down from the bit higher. We can actually see more evidence of these mythical creatures that don't exist. So, which then also makes Desmond slightly more concerned about the idea of the lack of weaponry that they're apparently carrying around, because that suggests that most handheld guns don't have any impact or have any value.
Well, hey, you know that against a dragon, most of your firearms are useless.
Well, unless of course Desmond's shooting, in which case it goes straight to the eye into the brainstem.
Desmond always hopes high.
If you don't believe in yourself, who will believe you?
I'm sure there'll be many of those vids of the David shooting the dragon known as Goliath.
Yep. And
Got to make the people believe there's a chance.
Yep. So looking down then onto the car park area,
You can see that there's a section of cars that are at least twice the size of the other cars. You think that's the troll parking?
Mm-hmm.
Considering the wheels are taller than most of the other vehicles in the car park.
Gotta love monster trucks.
And they seem to be single-seaters for the trolls.
Right.
That's less fun.
Well, when it's got to fit on the same space as a family car, you can't quite have two trolls side by side.
What if it's a troll family?
I was going to say, what if it's
Then you got the
Troll family
equivalent.
car.
Then you got the equivalent of a limo where everyone sits in single file to hide their numbers.
So how full is this car park? How many vehicles are we looking at?
Looking at about 30 vehicles there.
And from what we've seen of the number of people working in the refinery, it looks like there's going to be other areas of work sites around here.
Well, you can see other buildings in the distance around here. This seems to be the major construction hub. They're making metals, plastics, papers, and their refinery for their gas.
I gather there's no signs about, where there might be a corporate or factory vehicle car park, like a lot of, for government, it's like the fleet vehicles and things. Somewhere where there might be, say, trucks where you could fit not just a one troll in a vehicle, but, the whole party.
All of the delivery vans.
You do think that there is a corporate parking.
That's right. Working it.
Because you can see main gates with people, and the first time you see people carrying weapons, they've got sticks.
Like batons?
Yep.
Okay.
highly useful against people with guns.
Yeah, even less useful against Bolt.
They could just throw the stick.
From the vantage point of top of the building, can we see further evidence going into town of like a residential areas or other business precincts or things like that?
Well, it seems to have the big skyscrapers in the city centre look to be about 30 stories tall.
Mm-hmm.
At the biggest, they have probably 4 or 5 block city.
I gather there's no
And
sign
how
of
far away is the city?
It looks to be about 20k from here. Outside of it seems to be residential. Most of it on the other side of the city from the industrial side.
Have we seen any signposting or anything like that around?
Looking down, you basically see that you're standing on the side of the building that has a signposting, and everything here seems to be the Angel Grove this, the Angel Grove that.
So you're already at Angel Grove, maybe.
Yeah, so I was a bit afraid of that, with the idea that yes, Angel Grove won't really narrow the field.
As you have the feeling that the entire region here is known as Angel Grove.
I'm just actually trying to read my handwriting on some of the notes, and I couldn't quite read what I've written in like an annotation to Angel Grove. But I was reading it as, it might be monster control, but I was thinking, obviously that can't be correct, but maybe it is. Or monster capital or something type stuff.
It is known as the monster capital of the conspiracy theory world.
Right, so I did have monster capital in mind.
The stories are that regularly Godzilla-sized creatures show up here. No one really believes the footage because, of course, they're all doctored.
Is this lawyers that gave you these coordinates?
Yep.
They give you anything other than coordinates?
Yeah. So I was given the coordinates were actually to find the place initially, but yes. Do they have an address of their local offices or anything like that as to where the will would be held or read?
While the will was being read in Portland, and it had been read probably about a month ago.
Yeah, so it had been read a few days ago when I first got the news, so... But so there's a reference to, well, at the time I had written down as the estate Angel Grove, but I'm guessing estate is a somewhat larger expanse than I first imagined in that sense. So, but yeah, so there's no other address information other than the coordinates itself, is that right?
You were looking for someone who went by the name Oliver, which was a name they gave for your grandfather as his surname.
I don't know what his surname.
Mm-hmm. So obviously he wants some more, I'm sure.
Indeed. Or at least all the little Olivers want even more.
You don't have a phone number for these lawyers?
Well, so the lawyers were in Seattle and presumably in Portland rather than actually in Angel Grove. So,
I see. Yep.
I'm thinking some of the things that might be easy is to try and make contact with people here in the factory rather than heading further, but
Did you say you want to make contact with the people in the factory?
I'm thinking that there's probably little value in trying to get further down into downtown when we've not got much further to look at. And if, well, I suppose, I guess if we've discovered that this industrial site is Oliver Construction Company or something,
Maybe scout around and see if there's like a corporate sort of admin building, and maybe you might be able to find some kind of reference to Oliver.
Again,
The file I looked at, Martin, that wouldn't have had any useful details here.
File you looked at didn't have any useful details of the region, no.
Okay, cool. Alright.
But there is a bridge between the industrial district and this city centre.
Is that an indication that maybe we want to start heading in towards the city, or...?
No, it's just giving you something you can see from where you are.
Okay.
Well, I guess Desmond falling towards the idea of, okay, if we've got a spot where people should definitely be safe up here on the roof, then again it's probably appropriate for the more sociable people who try and make contact and or get to more information about what's happening rather than actually sneaking around. We can potentially be more obvious in our walking around. Again, we don't really know what the thoughts are for unauthorised visitors. So Desmond's certainly keen to maintain a stealth profile until it can't be done. But that does probably involve keeping others sitting and waiting until we've actually done that full understanding of where we are and what we've got ourselves into.
I don't mind doing that, but let's start doing that.
Yeah. Okay. Desmond will suggest particularly Flogger. Wait here, we'll be back. And then aim to get down and at least get amongst the vehicles and have a look at what the name of this place is that we're at and things like that. So,
okay.
And potentially head over towards a more corporate offices to publicly walk through the front door type stuff.
Okay, getting down and looking at the vehicles, you see most of the vehicles look like they're from about 20 years old or more. They don't look new, but they're all well maintained.
But they all appear to be petrol or diesel.
They all appear to be fuel-based vehicles.
Yeah.
Which is not surprising considering they have a refinery here, where most of the refineries have shut down.
Well, and also since there doesn't seem to be much indication of any grid guide or anything like that, because there's no nodes. It's like, I mean, do we detect any nodes as we're coming around the building areas or amongst the vehicles?
You see that there is infrastructure, but nothing that you can tap into remotely.
No, that's all right then, because that's probably not surprising on the idea that if they're getting attacked by kaiju regularly, then it might be hard to maintain generators.
I would suggest our tech is too high tech to mesh with their tech, if they have any.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if they're still running off landlines.
Is there a label on this industrial complex?
It
Aside
is.
from Angel Grove Industrial?
It is actually the entire place is called the Angel Grove Industrial Complex, and they got the Angel Grove Smelter, the Angel Grove Refinery, the Angel Grove Paper Mill. Everything is using Angel Grove as their main name. Very imaginative.
Is there any sort of directory?
There is what appears to be a old symbol for a phone on a little box that's way too small for Flogger to fit into, but it does have a door on the outside.
Declan's going to try and head up. You say there was like a corporate office reception area type stuff?
There is, with the guards, the only guards you've seen in this area.
So, the guards preventing access to that building, or just monitoring?
Well, there's a gate that seems to be the corporate entrance.
Okay.
And that's where the guards are stationed.
And what side of the gate are we? Outside or inside?
Well, technically you're on the edge of the... you're on the building, you're inside. When you go down the side of the building, you're on the outside.
Okay. So we could technically approach from the outside as legitimate visitors. And then if we don't get in, we could possibly sneak back in by the way we snuck out.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest maybe trying to do that.
That's suggesting what Declan's looking towards, because at least we might get more information about what we're looking for and things like that. So.
I'm guessing Bolt and Rakesh are staying with Flogger on the roof?
Yeah.
Or the other option would be to basically leave this industrial precinct and start getting into town on the idea that whilst the alert from our rival has died down, they're probably still on a heightened level of awareness initially. By the time we walk into town, there shouldn't be any problems or things like that.
We could enter on the basis that we're applying for jobs. But yeah, the question is how are we going to get into town? Are we going to walk in, see if there's public transport, or steal a vehicle?
Or how we got to the front gate here to actually then walk in to get to talk to the front officers. So, there doesn't look like any... would there be a way, if Declan had his bike going, to get the bike out of the facility other than through the front gate?
There's quite a few places where Flogger could easily jump the fence with the bike. It doesn't seem to be designed to stop trolls. Plus, looking at some of the locks on some of the side gates, you could probably pick it with a toothpick if you tried.
Yeah. But again, it's not like if we ride up on the bike to the front gate from somewhere else, obviously the bike is out of place from in the area too. So.
Well, some of the bikes you see parked in the area look similar, just look like they're petrol bikes instead of your electric.
Yeah. So, are there any electric vehicles, particularly maybe around the corporate car park area?
You did see the square electric box.
So you could just be a really cashed up person with an electric bike. You know, it's not gonna immediately stand out that you are enemy number one if you pull up on it.
It may be just the rich people have them. Because currently you are looking at the working class.
Yeah, that's right. I guess the idea is that what we've seen so far, there's not much evidence that even if the rich did have electric vehicles, that they've got a way of keeping them charged. So,
I'm guessing the corporate car park is a little bit more upper class than the working class area. Well, do you want to go to the city and set up, or do you want to go to the
I'm leaning towards getting back down the backside of the building, getting the bike going, and then taking a side exit out of the compound. Because I'm still concerned about the apparently just showing up immediately after something had landed in the airfield.
In terms of transport, is there any sign of public transport?
You see what appears to be benches with signs that remind you of the bus stops of Seattle.
Okay, but we don't have any cash. And I'm presuming these people deal in paper money and coins.
Well, credits have been around for a while. They may still use them.
All right. Well, I'm guessing if you were to take... I was going to say, I'm guessing if you were to take someone on your bike, the rest of us could catch the bus in.
And you do know that most cred sticks are point-to-point transfer, generally don't require the matrix to work. So you can actually transfer credits amongst yourselves no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Desmond's main thought is the fact of if we can get the bike off the side, then Desmond and someone else, like basically, rather than hiding on top of a building in the middle of the compound, we basically find a new hiding spot a few hundred meters outside of the compound, and then we can ride up on the bike to the front gate. But then be, hey, looking around, but apparently having come from outside as opposed to having come from an unmarked location after
Are there any
there's been an intrusion into the airport.
businesses, like, local shop type businesses, like Desron wants to park some of us off site? Well,
They can smell what appears to be a food van somewhere nearby.
okay. Well, why don't let's see if Flogger will pop your bike over the fence, and then we'll park most of the team at the food place. I'm pretty sure they'd like to eat, and then we can go into the corporate area and see what they've got what information they might have.
And so Desmond prefers to try and go through one of the gates and open the gate and pick the lock because he doesn't really want Flogger throwing his bike around.
No, but I presume Flogger's version of opening a gate equals rip lock off or something that's similar. Unless you'd like me to pre-pick it so that Flogger's not tempted to take the gate with him.
Well, I'm saying the fact that
Actually, I've got lock picks.
That's right.
So do I have to roll to unlock a gate?
You pull out your lock picks and they fit right in and pops before you even try to do anything.
Alright.
It appears these locks aren't made for your type of tools.
Flogger, are you happy to carry the bike outside so we don't have to make a noise?
Flogger can do heavy lifting. Yes.
Flogger can carry bike? I will assist the dwarf in terms of stealthing. So Rakesh and I will head on after Flogger. I'm gathering Bolt and Desron's probably with Flogger, I'm guessing, to make sure nothing happens to the precious.
So is Flogger disappointed to find a door with holes through it?
Just
No.
gotta go bathroom.
Chain link fence door isn't quite the same as the doors you're used to.
It is the Joker card.
Well, you can't draw symbols on it.
Good point. Yes, disappointed.
And okay, no doors from this trip because you've got nowhere getting him home. You can't add them to the collection.
Sad.
I'm sure Spulver is exceedingly disappointed.
I'm sad.
Well, okay. Desmond just he makes that statement, hoping the Flogger doesn't think about how much space there might have been still left in the T-bird.
Especially if he gets rid of the bike.
It's more the point. I might strap to roof.
Okay, so yes, your bike starts up, no problems.
Oh,
And because it's electric, no real noise.
Basically, yeah. So we'll aim to get a few hundred meters past beyond the compound area. Excuse me. And then, yeah, aim to find a good spot where you can sit down, relax, go fishing on the beach or something.
I'm sure he won't find anything bigger than him. Depends on where he fishes.
And then Declan's planning on at least heading back into the front gate and trying to find out more about where we're going, because, yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming you guys don't feel like walking the 20 k's into town, so...
So scooting in on your bike after getting them next to what appears to be a food van, the rest of them are shocked to find not a single item on the menu has soy as part of its product. What sort of town are you stuck in?
Where's the real food?
Wait, where's the rat?
They don't even have anything listed rat or soy at all.
Oh.
But they have crab, lobster. They even have something called hot dog.
No, my brothers and sisters.
But it's only a long thin thing, so you're not sure what part of the dog they cut.
My brothers.
But it smells delicious.
Yeah, Bolt's gonna avoid those.
Okay. Is the intent that people will just effectively go in at this food van type stuff? Do they have a few seats out the front so people to sit around?
They've got quite a few wooden seats out here, all attached in some sort of frame that gives them a bench seat and a table.
Are any of them sized for a troll to sit at?
Well, tapping them, they're all solid. Even the normal size one looks like it will hold a troll.
But they're not actually designed for a troll to sit at.
Most of them aren't, no, but hey, the troll can actually sit on top and not break it.
Yeah. And you can then eat one of the other, eat at the table next to it after sitting on one table. Are you guys happy to rest up here? We probably don't need to hide at this location after we've arrived at that point. Are there any other customers at this place that are coming up to us?
At the moment, no. They say that they're surprised they had some customers. They were just getting ready to start for the evening rush when people finish work. You guys must have got off early.
Yep.
And then to Desrin's horror, as he turns around, he sees right next to the Angel Grove glass factory, the Angel Grove door factory.
Declan will aim to do a bit of random chatting with the cafe owner and or wait staff.
Yep.
Before coming go further. So, want to sit down and have a food, have some tea. I don't know the $8 on the composer in the t-shirt. I expect people are hungry. So we'll try some of these strange concoctions that they call.
Well, the cheapest thing on the menu is their hot dog, which makes Bolt shudder quite a lot.
Declan's happy to try hot dog.
Bolt probably won't talk to you for a week now.
As they got crab cakes, hot dog, fish sticks, and lots of other different weirdly named things.
Stick. I'll take sticks.
So when you take the sticks, they don't taste anything at all like sticks.
Well, not be able to start with. But yeah, okay, so Desmond will attempt his his charming self to try and talk to the owners of the cafe, or if there's a wait staff or anything like that amongst
Yep, you're able to talk to
tables.
both. So what is Desrin's charming ability?
2 yellow dice.
So for Ariadne here, I'm sure it will roll well. I'm doing the roll for you after all. Yeah, you probably should have waited for Ariadne.
Great.
Sorry, I just thought I'd put the
It's
blanket
okay.
on after I
I
finish.
think I'll let you do the re-roll there. Considering what I rolled. Just take this one and get the other one in a bit.
Yep.
Yep, Ariadne definitely rolls better than I do.
That could be a better roll.
Sorry.
Okay, success and 3 advantages, isn't it?
That is actually correct.
Yeah, a success and 3 advantages and then 2 nothings.
So yes, what are you trying to get across from them?
Well, basically trying to get an idea of find out exactly what the situation is around here. And trying to effectively gain information about the place without necessarily sounding too much like a complete outsider, and also then, as part of that, see if the family name Oliver has much impact in the area.
Okay, so
Is that something I can assist with, or?
possibly.
With your rolling skills, I think you've already.
I think you've just assisted. So they talk about how nearly everything here is subsidized, which you realize after finding that each meal only cost you 1 credit each, which normally would have set you back maybe 200 credits with a lot of you.
Oh, we're at the food van?
Well, particularly if we're eating, considering the apparent content of the food, it's the sort of thing that normally we way be out of that price range.
Mm.
And like food and drink was a credit. And the drink was some sort of juice. And it seemed to be natural juices too.
Mm.
It's unnatural, that is.
No preservatives or sugars at all were tasted. It just tasted wrong.
I don't know. I have a feeling Shadow, being of the disposition that she is, she would actually quite appreciate that. She's considering moving here.
Well, hey, considering this sort of meal would have probably set you back maybe 50 to 100 credits.
Mm. Very definitely so.
And you'd only get it at a 5-star restaurant in Seattle.
Okay. And it's a food truck here.
Yep.
Yeah. And so even then, the seafood being offered is probably a lot fresher than it might be in the restaurant too.
Yeah, yep. Bit like going to Tasmania.
And yeah, and basically saying that people here are generally well looked after. Housing is affordable. They only pay about 10 credits a week in rent.
Geez, real Ariadne wants to live there.
And there's no utility bills.
Yeah, I definitely want to live there.
Admittedly, part of that might be there's no utilities.
Well, they have electricity and water, and they have local TV broadcasts.
To dark jokely, we're considering starting to light candles here, considering our utility bills. So, this doesn't sound too bad.
And yeah, okay. So there's a indication as to who is subsidising this town.
They sort of don't you know it's a global thing. All the governments chip in, so they don't have to deal with the monsters of unusual size. As long as we're here, they don't go anywhere else.
It is very interesting that they
So-
get the monsters of unusual size.
As long as you don't mind the occasional monster attack flattening parts of the city, then you're fine. Really doesn't affect the homes.
So yeah, so basically, the population and the construction here are sacrificial lambs to keep the monsters busy.
Well, the construction here is in the industrial area always has work to do because they have to rebuild everything that gets destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So we make everything that gets torn down.
That's how you create employment.
I mean, it would certainly explain all that this probably would.
I missed that in, sorry.
Oh, I said it would definitely explain all that discarded wood.
Yeah.
Well, you wonder if they discard it. They should be recycling it, probably. Obviously, they don't feel the need to.
Well, I mean, it'll probably get recycled eventually. It's just the case that they turned into packaging initially.
And so luckily the latest casual alert turned out to be a false alarm.
Yeah, I heard the sirens going off, so we had to take cover in the bush. It was always one thing.
Yeah, be careful about that. The bushes have been set alight a couple of times. Would be warned to stay out of the bushlands.
Mm-hmm. And so does the family name Oliver mean anything to these people?
Oh, there are many Olivers around. I'm sure you can look one up in this name that seems unfamiliar to you. Phone book.
The orange pages, as Mike would say.
Well,
I'm sure you
Deegan's
can.
happy.
I'm sure you
Deegan's happy to flip through these
Telephone directory.
database.
says you should find one in any of the phone booths. He points to one of those strange square things with doors on them and that strange telephone, antique telephone symbol on the side.
Well, Deegan will have a look at this database, and
There are only 3,000 Olivers in the phone book.
well, I mean, that was the first evidence, was okay, get an indication as to how many names are actually in this phone book.
The phone book has what appears to be maybe 40,000 names in it. Probably like 400,000 names would be more likely.
Okay.
Decent sized city.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Decent sized city, so about 400,000 would be about right.
Yeah, okay. So we're talking Canberra size
Yeah.
population. And okay then. Yeah. So.
And the map that's in the
How
front
many-
of the book looks fairly comprehensive as well.
Okay.
The map in the front of the directory looks very comprehensive as well.
I was about to ask if it came with a useful directory.
And the security bindings that are holding it to the phone booth don't look that particular tough to break.
No.
Seems to be made out of some sort of wood.
I was going to say, not shoelace.
Well, twine.
Yeah, twine
and
makes sense.
Does it? Yes. Are there a significant number of Olivers in the book?
Looking at it, there seem to be about 10 Olivers.
Okay, that's not nearly as bad as it could have been.
Take a photo with your phone. Then maybe look up their addresses on that map.
Well, that's what I say. So you'll get rather than actually stealing the book, at least for this particular one. We'll go for taking photos of the page with the oldest names and photos of all of the street directory information.
What does surprise you is the phone booth does have a jack point in it.
Well, in that case then, we might
I was going to say, you're going to jack in?
Plug in
Yep.
and see if we can get an external connection.
Okay, plug in and you find yourself connected to the Matrix for the first time in quite a few hours. You feel the sweat sort of start to dissipate. You're currently online. You're not really sure what to do with yourself after all this time without internet and being able to just Google it.
Can I do effectively find an electronic version of this directory?
Yes, they seem to have a page you can go to request information from it.
The idea was I was actually hoping to just effectively download a copy of this directory, and but I also mentioned that it may not be available through even a checkpoint within the site as part of the whole. This place doesn't exist, so therefore there won't be directory of it on the Matrix.
There is no physical directory that you can download as an electronic copy, but you can request details from a information point. Feels very much like those old school web browsers, where you actually have to type in the information you're looking for and it gives you back some answers, but it doesn't actually send it to you.
They're going to be uncertain about this sort of technology. So, hey, that obviously makes it very easy to trace, and they can know everything we know about what they're looking for.
Yeah, and it seems everything you do on here will most likely be logged.
What, no incognito?
He might need some new hardware with an upgrade.
Don't know how incognito is, to be honest.
It just wipes what's on your computer. It doesn't wipe what you do.
Adrian will effectively get to a Dropbox with from SoCal and leave a message and leave an image of all the images she's taken of the directory, and request that SoCal try and convert this into effectively a Mapsoft that then Declan will be able to re-upload and he can then put on his cyber eyes down the track.
Okay, you get a message saying, in response, give me 2 days. You'll have it done.
Wow.
A bit longer than I was hoping for, but that's all. I wasn't going to get your message back anyway, so that's fine.
When does SoCal ever sleep? Not when anyone else notices.
But then, okay, the intent will be that, hey, you can at least look at his own images and work out where we're going to get to somewhat in the meantime. And he'll also then, okay, if SoCal was there and Des will also leave another message back saying, well, yeah, there appears to be a lot more to these rumours about Angel Grove and giant monsters and all that sort of stuff, so conspiracy theory bits and pieces. If SoCal is actually able to create a bit of a dossier on what can be found, it's now a lot more believable and potentially a lot more worth looking at. I'd be keen to have a read of that when we get the chance too. So.
Well, he sends you a picture in response that looks like a flying pig.
So, what's your ultimate goal in coming here? Are you trying to track down relatives? Or, you know, like you're doing this research into your family. Are you just trying to kind of figure out who your real family are?
basically, and also collect the money that apparently it should be part of.
Okay, so would that mean also maybe trying to head to these lawyers then? And could we use the directory you're currently looking in now to locate those lawyers?
Again, they were located in a different city.
Oh, okay.
I can have a look at the directory and find out whether or not the lawyers that did contact me in Seattle and also said indicated the will was being read in Portland, presumably the officers there, whether they have any indication or officers corporate base here in Angel Grove.
Yeah.
Okay, you flick through the directory, and you actually find they do have a branch located here. It wasn't listed anywhere here on the Matrix sites you looked at. So unless you actually physically looked, you weren't going to see it.
Oh, no, okay. Seemingly sort of thing, yes. Nothing in this town has been available on the Matrix. It doesn't exist. So. Yeah.
Look, all we have to do now is walk into an actual bookstore, and I think we'll all be thrilled. We could possibly even convince Flogger the books are actually doors, and that he only needs to collect 52 of those.
But
to
I don't
make
think
a
he'd
deck.
rip the cover off.
Well, no, but it's the whole book is a portal to another world, therefore a doorway.
The door to the mind.
That's
Could
right.
we convince Flogger of that, Josh?
Didn't someone say there was a door factory?
There was.
Oh, someone hasn't been watching Flogger.
Yeah, someone hasn't been watching Flogger. Flogger is now at the back of the door factory, like trying to find like doors that were thrown away because they're not perfect. Flogger's picking up scraps,
That's
basically.
kind of sweet. He's adopting doors.
You find a bunch of broken doors out the back.
Oh, they're broken. Oh.
Some of them have what look to be face imprints on them or fist marks in them.
Face imprints.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not broken. They're just used.
Yeah.
I was about to say, are there any like fully they can be used? But are there any fully intact doors?
Well, besides those that damage, they look fairly intact.
Beautiful. I'll pick up.
Which is probably less damage than the doors that Flogger normally collects by the time Flogger's got them off the door frame.
Do they have bags of holding in this world?
Yes, it's called Flogger.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering how he stores all these doors.
Flogger now has another 3 doors.
He rarely takes them with him. He's just got this pile in wherever he stays of doors.
Yep.
We should be so upset if the place ever burns down, then you'll lose all those doors.
He literally does door-to-door collection.
Mm-hmm. Someone said door factory, Flogger, and no one was paying attention to Flogger.
This is true.
Yeah,
Okay,
Flogger's
so-
Yeah.
Does that mean Flogger
Yeah.
has to get back in the compound again?
Flogger in one arm will hold 3 doors.
Well, the door factory does have a front door that he could have gone through that was open.
Right.
He could have taken the door to the door factory.
I was told I can't rip off doors. There was nothing about the scraps at the back.
As he walks into the door factory, he can see doors being made.
Actual doors being made. You could have a door made custom to your liking.
Well, you can get...
Okay. Flogger's going to go to the front reception of this door factory, and he will ask, how much per door?
I need 52.
They say it depends on the size of the door, but normally no more than 1 to 10 credits a door.
Oh, there you go.
110 credits per door. If I asked for
Many doors.
Minus how many doors you've already collected.
45 doors to be delivered to here, as in, I'll point to the location where all my other doors are at.
They say,
Yeah.
where's that? We don't deliver that far, but if you've got a place here, we can deliver it. We generally don't ship into international.
I think Flogger wants to move here too. He needs a permanent address.
Okay.
But if you had a place here,
If
we
you
could
guys
just...
don't go that far, I will take 5.
Okay. How big do you want them? We can do up to about 3 times your size,
Front door size, points to the front door.
which is about 3 times your size.
Is there a
Oh.
normal human sized door?
Maybe half front door size.
Oh, we got those too. Do you want
Yes.
it made out of wood, plastic, paper, concrete, metal?
One of each. Need variety.
We can get some done next door in the glass factory.
Ooh.
But you can see through those doors.
That's too fragile. I would like plastic, wood, paper, stone.
And reinforced steel.
And cardboard.
So, well, we have most of those in stock now. If you've got your 10 credits, we can have it ready for you now.
Pays 10 credits.
Okay, you see a troll walking out from the back carrying a door at a time.
Oh.
Which is actually quite amusing considering the paper door doesn't appear to be that heavy, but he's still only carrying one at a time.
He gets paid by the hour.
It's not like
he gets paid by the door.
I was going to say, maybe by the door.
it's not like many people order doors, so if he brought them all at once, that would be his interest of the day finished.
Exactly, he's done for the day.
So by the time he's finished giving you your doors, Desren's finally finished with the telephone book.
Shadow's actually resisting mentioning to Flogger that if he got doors half the size he wants, he could get twice as many doors.
I'm pretty sure Flogger's the only one in the door factory, though.
Yeah.
As you do see, they even have cat-sized doors.
Nah. Too small. Big deck of cards. Sorry, big deck of doors.
So the question is are you going to get the doors painted like cards?
I know. Flogger hand paint.
Oh, well, yeah, no, that works.
Except, how's he going to paint the doors if he's painting his hand?
Yeah.
He's painting the doors with his hands.
Exactly. I'm finger painting.
I was going to say, is this finger painting or are these like the traditional handprints?
I was expecting the brush and then going, Flogger hand painting.
Yeah.
No, I got that.
No. Brush is too complicated for Flogger.
Bucket! Thunk.
Yeah, pretty much just bucket.
Paintball gun.
Paint to door, slams bucket of paint on door.
I guess the open bucket makes big sound. Flogger happy. Flogger has new game.
Yes.
So yes, you have your doors as you walk out.
You can start a business and start selling doors to other trolls. You can be a door-to-door salesman.
So as you finish looking, finding that there is a local chapter of the lawyers in the city centre.
So I'm guessing that we probably end up spending a good half an hour, something like that, here at the cafe area. So do people start coming out of the compound, or is there any evidence of the bus service might arrive or things like that?
You hear a whistle of and the sounds of people down tooling as the sun's starting to get low in the horizon. And people seem to be hurrying out to their vehicles. You see what appears to be a bus coming along. You didn't think a bus was going to show up until they finished for the day anyway.
Yep.
No one schedules a bus when no one's going to use it.
It'd be unusual.
Just we figure out where Flogger is, collect him and catch the bus.
Well, you turn around and see Flogger walking towards you with a pile of doors under his arm.
It's going to be interesting getting those on the bus, but that's not my problem, that's Flogger's problem.
But surely the disability ability permits would include trolls. That's just me. And dwarves.
Mm.
Well, obviously, yeah, certainly the facility is designed for metahuman workforce, so presumably the bus has capability for metahuman travellers.
Mm.
So are you all catching the bus?
That's not Desmond's problem, she's got his bike.
Yeah.
So it's everyone but Desrin catching the bus.
I was going to say, Desrin, did you want to take... Because I heard Rakesh was willing and looking possibly getting a ride in on the bike.
There's no reason. You'll be more comfortable on the bus, trust me.
Oh, is that the way it's going to be?
No, I'm happy because the bus would be the safest mode of transport to wherever.
And Deck is looking forward to some nice open riding.
Shadow Star's making notes.
Okay, so you get to the bus stop as a line starts to form there. Most people give way for the troll with his doors.
The question is, who are the ones that don't?
There are other trolls. They're just looking up and down and shrug.
None of them show any interest in his doors?
Or there's no comment about, you're still repairing, are you?
Well, apparently it's a common thing for people to carry doors onto the bus, so they haven't seemed to have noticed.
I was going to say, considering that the door factory is right there, I'd be guessing that's why it's common.
As it pulls up, when Flogger gets to get on, the driver says, you can put the doors in the undercarriage carriageway. That way it won't fall over while you're on here.
Thank you. Puts them in the carriageway.
And you find that there are troll-sized seats over the wheels.
Oh. Leg room.
Extra bounce.
It provides, it's the most structurally stable point of the bus.
You don't really want trolls at the back, because otherwise it might start to throw out the driving.
Could make for an interesting ride, though.
Not if you want to reach a destination. Okay, so you find the price of bus fare an astronomical 1 credit.
How traffic.
Well, hey, that's actually equal price to what it is in Seattle to catch the bus.
Oh, is it?
So,
Is that because no one catches the bus in Seattle because they're gross?
well, downtown Seattle is free, so this is 1,000 times more expensive than taking the bus in downtown Seattle.
Right, you've also got to consider the fact that what you're getting then is the idea that the price of a bus fare is the same as a 3-course lobster dinner.
Yep.
You've just eaten.
I mean, my sticks tasted pretty weird, but I'm full.
Question is did you like them?
Undecided.
It was very fishy. Okay, so
I really doubt.
Well, okay, the advantage that Desmond would get the hot dog is that was probably the most food-like food that was there because it was highly processed.
Most Seattle-like food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
except you've never had one that wasn't made out of soy before.
What was Emmy saying?
And what was Em saying?
Oh, I was gonna say I heard steak, so that's all I heard.
Could have been a Dagwood dog.
Nah.
They come on sticks.
It's not necessarily much better than hot dog
No.
from a bulk perspective.
Yes, a lot of male dogs gave up their lives to make those dogs.
I'm just not going there.
And they weren't even toy dogs.
Okay, so getting on the bus, you do find that about half the seats almost look brand new, as does some of the bus paneling.
Guessing based on the last attack, things get repaired fairly frequently.
Well, they seem to be fairly skilled at repairing things.
Repairs are required often.
I'm not sure it's a great thing that the public transport gets repaired regularly.
Well, theoretically, the answer would be yes, because that means it's well maintained. The question is why it needs repair.
That's right, it's obviously a target.
Yeah. Is it just because it's transporting metahumans that it needs repair, or because the kaiju? Is that what they're called?
Kaiju.
Yeah.
Kaiju, yeah.
The MOUSs.
Yes.
Monsters of unusual size.
The mice. Yeah, because they are attracted to the public transport.
Well, as you start heading into the city on the bus, you do see a sign saying, if you see a MOUS, report it.
How would you miss... Yeah, okay, yeah, alright. I can't envision a person seeing an MOUS and going, I'm not going to bother.
Well, no, I'm thinking that the sign is actually seen an MOUS. Step 1, report it. Step 2, die.
I really want to put in step 0, run.
Holds down with step 0.
Isn't that Bolt's default step 1? Run?
Well, it's worked so far.
But for Bolt, the idea of, what do you mean, 1 step?
Has Desrin told us where he's going to meet us since
He has not.
decided to...
The intent is you guys can jump on the bus. He's going to be following along, occasionally getting in front of it, circling around, enjoying the idea of actually being out on the open road. Without having to like on a non-grid guide road where there's not traffic to dodge.
Sounds like Canberra.
As the bus takes off, you do notice that the bus is the first electric full-size vehicle you've seen here.
Ah, good. Because that was the other concern he had. I was thinking, exactly what's the range of a full battery at least like? I was thinking, surely it'd be enough to get into town and out again, but...
It's normally a couple of hours.
Yeah. So if the bus is electric, that means it's going to definitely be charging places in town, so that's good. Is the bus being driven by a real metahuman, or is it remote control?
It is driven by someone.
Yep.
You do have a feeling that on a regular basis electricity shorts out here.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, okay, considering everyone else is going home from the car park and stuff like that, it's not necessarily going to be completely open road, but yeah. But there's probably not that many buses on the road, so Desmond will actually aim to get ahead, fall behind, enjoy the ride.
Well, as you're going along, you do notice more buses appearing on the roads. Seems about half the people here use the bus transport.
That's not all that surprising. Obviously, all a cultured community. So.
And to your surprise, most of the other vehicles are fairly sedate in their driving. Very few people are speeding. You stand out as unusual in crossing lanes, going fast, going slow.
Careful, you get
overtaking,
pulled over.
Yeah. Hey. That involves them catching you.
Darion, no. No.
Okay, so we'll work basically, go down. Does the bus go to multiple stops, or is it a
Polite voice.
communal?
Well, it seems to be one that takes them from the industrial to the city centre, and then into the other districts from there.
Do we know where we're getting off?
If it's they basically made its first stop at a central point in town, then Derek will send a message, because technically our comms are back up again, aren't they?
They are.
Yep.
And as long as you're in about 5Ks of a person, you can easily get in touch with them.
Yep. So Derek will send a message saying, hey, it looks like you're going to a central point first up. Might as well be a good place to stop off, and we can actually we get a bearing from there. Because it's not like Derek's going to actually pull up a map of this place yet, so he'll have to actually get in town and actually start comparing the street map in photos with the street signs or something like that. On the way into town, do we go past a number of those own booths?
You go past quite a few of them on the way into town. There seems to be one every few Ks.
Okay, in that case then, Desmond will stop in on probably the second or third one he sees type stuff, and just to see if it has one of these directories. And if so, you'll be planning to pick one of the directories.
That's not good. Two
Okay.
fails, two threats.
The first one you show up on has just the cut cord.
Yep.
Seems someone borrowed the phone book from this booth.
That's okay. I had expected there should have been a lot of them missing.
And someone also stuck chewing gum in the jack point.
But yeah, so that's
Need to
perfectly
roll again
logical.
for the next one.
But yeah, realistically, it's an opportunity and excuse for Desmond to fall behind the bus occasionally, so that he's not overtaking again to get ahead and fall behind if he has to stop at a few phone booths to actually try and find one that has a directory.
Okay, so while Desmond's doing that, you do notice the bus go past what seems to be a strange sort of building. Looks like a wolf's head on its side, made out of metal.
Okay.
Okay?
Doesn't ring any bells.
Or if we don't think of it as a building, but potentially as a mode of transport or the head of a monster.
Sandwich.
What was that, sorry?
Was that Martin?
Sorry, I was just answering a question from my daughter.
All good.
Okay, right. So Dr.
That's why it sounded so weird, because I'm pretty sure you said I'll have a chicken sandwich, and I'm like, what?
No, it was I was being offered
Yep.
a vegetarian shepherd's pie.
Right. Yep. This building, why is it remarkable?
It just looks like it's a wolf's head on its side.
So, what do you mean when it's a wolf's head on its side?
Makes you think of a wolf's head when you're looking at it.
Okay, but it's a building.
Okay.
Well, it's large, it's bigger than the bus, and you're driving past it.
Okay.
Either that or it's some weird ass sculpture.
Oh, okay, all right.
Or, as I say, depending if, like I say, from a player perspective, potentially either the head of a kaiju or the head of the type of weapon they use against the kaiju.
Kaiju, yep, okay.
I.e. the giant mech things that I can't think of the names.
Context does help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But obviously, yeah. the characters don't necessarily have that context to make that assessment.
Mm.
He just looks weird sitting there. So yes, Desrin picks up a book on the way through, and by the time he comes past, it's a bit too dark to see the details.
That guy then, but okay, potentially going to be an easier one to or there's more information to look up for other places if we need to.
I dare say we should find some lodging for the evening. If it's getting dark.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And there is a talk on the bus about how most of them want to get home before it's too dark because, bad things come out at night.
I asked the bus driver if there's
There
a
must be a price to Angel Grove.
place
living
for
conditions. 1 credit.
overnight accommodations.
Well, it says there's quite a few decent hotels in the city. Don't get a lot of people needing hotel space, so you get some penthouses for about 10 credits a night.
Do you drop us next to one of those?
It says, well, we got a stop that stops near them all the time.
Yep. If you could let us know where that is, I'd
Coming
appreciate
up
that.
in about 3 stops.
Okay. I will let Desrin know that we're going to get off next to this hotel penthouse accommodation place.
Okay.
And herd the others off once we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure that Flogger does not forget to grab his doors from underneath the bus.
The bus driver does remind him as well. Or you, don't forget your doors.
That's okay.
Don't
I'm
go
already
before.
on top of it.
It says try not to forget to install them before the day's out. You don't want anything strange creeping in, he says.
These are his just-in-case doors. He'll be fine.
Right.
Good luck, he says. Mm.
These are the doors to reinforce the hotel doors.
Okay, so the hotel is a nice, big, sprawling 20-story building.
Mhm.
Has a casino, a couple of restaurants, and even a mall.
Sounds interesting.
Marvelous.
Um,
We've almost got back to civilization.
well,
There's a mall.
it depends on what they sell. I presume that they all sell a lot of what we would consider old school type stuff.
Well, you go in, they have basically retreats to beach front properties. They have ocean cruises. They have all these other things advertised on the as you walk in.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, holiday destinations for people.
I meant the stores
Well, the mall's not.
in the mall.
The
Yeah.
mall is off to the side of the
Oh, okay.
hotel.
All right.
Assuming you went to
Yeah.
the hotel first.
Yeah. Okay.
And probably also the mall, a lot of the places the mall are closed.
Yeah.
Because you see security doors coming down on most of the mall area.
Yeah. All right. We'll head up to our room, I guess.
Okay, the
Okay, yeah, we'll certainly book, talk to reception and see if we can get rooms. And
well, so let's say the
Hey.
top room's always free. Not many people stay there.
okay, we can.
Always vacant, not free.
Well,
Virtually free.
virtually free, he says. He's happy to book you all in for 30 credits.
Yep.
Just one lot of 30 credits will do.
Yep.
Most people want to be close to the ground to get to the shelters.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's why it's almost always free and so cheap.
Did we end up in the penthouse?
You got the penthouse. It was the
We did,
cheapest
okay.
overall price.
Yeah.
How much, out of curiosity, would it be for one that's near the shelters?
It would be about 10 credits each.
Considering that even though it's rare and as much as seeing a monster of unusual size might be interesting, do we actually want to get rooms closer to the shelter?
That'd be silly.
Does everyone feel that way, or just Desrin?
Only the best for Desrin, I'm sure.
No. I would say as close to the ground as possible.
Yeah, I'm with Rakesh, so I by all means, if Desrin wants to go up into the penthouse, he's welcome to. We've got comms. I'm happy to go down closer to the shelter.
So does Bolt want the room with a view or the reinforced walls?
I'll go with reinforced walls.
And how about Flogger? Does Flogger want to be able to see?
Yeah, Flogger would like to see.
Okay.
So it looks like Desrin's got company.
Desrin and Flogger are in the penthouse, and the rest of us are down next to the shelter.
Presumably the penthouse, when we're talking penthouse, we're talking penthouse suite. So therefore, yeah, Flogger can have that wing, and I'll have this wing.
Well, you got the entire top floor to yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Flogger might end up getting bored real quickly and then joining us downstairs anyway. Unless he just follows Desrin around, which I would just love.
Yeah, Desrin's saying, you got that side, I got this side, and then he then turns around and Flogger's behind him again. It's like,
You got that side, I got this side. Flogger's behind him again.
But then, yeah, okay, so, having taken advantage of having a look around the place, the penthouse suites, and getting a good look at the area, and thinking, oh yeah, this is the type of place to get used to living in.
yep.
Desmond's then going to basically pull out his equipment, bits and pieces, including pulling out the case of his sniper rifle type stuff and having it set up in the room.
Just in case.
How useful is that going to be against a monster of unusual size, though?
Hey, take them through the eyes, and still go down.
Yeah, maybe. Depends on where their brain is.
And how many eyes they have.
Depends on the monster, I guess. There are some monsters whose brains aren't necessarily in their heads.
That is correct.
Alrighty.
Okay, so I think that might be a good place to finish this up for tonight as you rest for yourselves in Angel Grove, especially with Josh being so tired himself.
Yeah.
So Flogger gets to participate more next session.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll find more doors.
More doors.
All the doors.
Hang on, no. We're going nowhere near Mordor.
I don't know. It depends on your family.
And as long as you got a reservation, why not? Because no one just walks in.
No one just walks into Mordor.
That's why you got a reservation.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what kind of person his father was.
Okay, so yes, you've managed to get yourself to this strange, out-of-the-way place.
Well, it looks like a lovely holiday home, really.
It does.
I have a feeling more than one of us are considering relocating.
It's a wonderful vacation spot.
Well, you definitely get away from all the tech.
I even hear that the hunting's good here.
Depends on the kind of hunting you're talking about.
Those that enjoy their big game hunting.
Yeah, definitely the big in big game.
Okay, well, thank you very much all.
Yep.
All good. So have a good night,
Have a good
everyone.
night. Thank you.
And reminder for people for Pathfinder on Friday.
Yep. See you on Friday or next week or the week after.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh,
And
yes, I'll see you there.
Thank you.
Have a good week, Martin.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Enjoy the game, Martin.
Oh yeah,
Even if it's not
yes.
Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's at Geelong. So yes, there is a game. It's a neutral game. But
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Yeah. But still, hopefully your team wins and you have a good time.
Okay. Good night.
Have a good night, all.
Good night,
I
all.
still have to figure out how I closed off this.
Yeah. Yep.